Welcome back to the Business Broadcast. I'm James Sinclair. This is the podcast designed to help grow your business. Today we're speaking to Stephen Lindsay in something that truly shocks me. This business is called Lindsay Highland Tours. This chap worked at Lloyds Bank, so I think we can all agree a pretty safe place to be. Is Lloyds Bank going to be around in 20, 30, 40 years? Yeah, I think it is, and therefore a pretty safe place to go. But he left, and he got his dad, who was a carer, and turned him into a tour guide. And they started doing tours at 25 grand a pop, taking people around the Highlands in a Mercedes bus, doing 105 grand a month of revenue. They did 700,000 revenue last year. So this isn't a pipe dream. They've actually got some realness behind it. We've got some challenges in the business. Accommodation is our largest expense, so owning our own accommodation for our guests would reduce costs and improve our profit margins. The challenge is funding the 30% deposit needed to make this happen this year. I've got some ideas on that. If you're a trading business and you're making money, banks sometimes sort of flex the rules. Even Lloyds would do that, I think. Second biggest challenge, switching off. As the business grows, I find it harder to switch off and spend time with my family. Need to manage my time better and be more organised. Hello, that's an entrepreneur there. That's a big fat entrepreneur trait. Challenge number 3 is starting from scratch every month. If there was a way to offer a subscription model for Americans visiting Scotland, I'd sleep better at night. Dream on, I think, is the answer to that. You ain't going to get that. We all want that, but very rarely does that happen. I asked him this: where do you want to be in 1 year's time? And he said, working on the business rather than in it. I'm averaging and I want to be averaging 200,000 a month in sales, owning our own accommodation, and on track for a 20% profit margin. What will your business look like when it's finished? He said, a successful business with a strong management team in place, delivering a 1 million EBITDA with strong year-on-year growth. I asked him, do you make the profit that you want to make? And he says, no, James. Increasing accommodation costs and reinvesting our profits over the last couple of years into new vehicles. I don't think you can really include the reinvesting into new vehicles. That's more of a capital item. That I get the point. Questions he'd like to ask me come later on in this here show. Hello campers. Welcome back to the Business Broadcast, the podcast designed to help grow your business. I've been a very busy chap. Michael Chudley joins me as producer over there on camera too. And guess what, gang? Michael Chudley's going to have a nice blue backdrop by the next episode. Upgrades to the studio. If you guys could see what it looks like. It is shocking. It's pretty poor. But we've cleared the big studio out, by the way, Chuds. Mm-hmm. It's like stage 1 of clearing it out. But this is still one of the most listened to business podcasts. That's a stretch of a statement. Come on, this is you don't want me to open up the charts, do you? Yeah. You want me to open up the business charts? Yeah. This is still, we're in the top 100 listened to podcasts in the United Kingdom. Okay, that's a more accurate statement. Not one of the most listened to, though. Well, let's have a look. I'm going on as well because I don't trust this Michael Chudley. This is I have him here to bring me back down to earth. I'll search for UK though. Okay, Diary of a CEO, Martin Lewis podcast, Unhedged, Big Boss interview. Under entrepreneurship. Okay. I've just typed in business. Yeah, under entrepreneurship. Gary's Economics, Financial Audit, Working Hard with Grace Beverley. Yeah, there's a lot. We're number 38 on entrepreneurship at the moment. Okay. That's not bad. Okay, I take that back. It's better than I thought. Yeah, we're above Simon Squibb. Not in the business one, though. Not even in the top 50. Yeah, but we want to be in entrepreneurship, don't we? It's very similar, but yeah. But I think when we upload, Chuds, we go into the top 10. It goes up a little bit, then comes back down, yeah. Yeah. There you go. There you go. I still think we're one of the best in terms of usefulness to our audience. If you know anyone that needs to listen to our podcast, please pass it along. I spent the morning doing a little mastermind with entrepreneurs and business owners. Then I was vlogging for a little day in the life, doing it on my own, before we come on to this amazing business with LindsayHighlandTours.com. But before we do that, before we talk about this business, I believe there's a knock on the door. Yes, indeed. It's time for this. Interesting quote or fact. Interesting quote or fact. Interesting quote or fact. It's time for the interesting quote or fact of the week. Got a couple of quotes here. I like this. I asked the wise man, what is the greatest loss? And he replied, to leave the world with your potential still locked inside. Beautiful stuff. The next 3 months, focus on what really matters. Do what you need to do to be where you want to be. So I done a little thing with our accelerator members. These are high growth entrepreneurs that come and spend time with us, and we coach them and we help them get to the next level. You can join Accelerator if you qualify. All details are on my website, jamessinclair.net. But I was talking to them about three things. If you're challenged, payroll, not got the right team, cash flow, not enough sales, someone's knocked you, you've lost a contract, you've gained a contract, you're over trading, I don't know. Think of these three things. Thing number one, get out of your environment, get out of your regular environment to go into a new place to think differently. Because I think when you're in new environments, you have new thoughts. So go for a walk in a forest, go and talk to someone else in a different environment. Your brain just thinks better. Secondly, most of challenges are solved in 2 weeks, 4 weeks, and you need to speed the process up. So I had this little tip that I read about is if you're challenged today, journal it and put it into your calendar for 30 days time. And this is useful because then when that 30 days lands in your calendar, you can then read what you've put in there into the future and go, cool, I solved all those problems. And then your brain's neural pathways will go, you are a problem solver. We are resourceful. We are mighty. And then the third point, which is I just gather my thoughts because I forgot what the third point is because I got so excited about how well I articulated point number two, was the 6-month rule. The things we do today, the actions we take today, if it's a very important non-urgent task, you don't usually see benefits for 6 months. So if you start exercising today and say you want to start working on your biceps and you do it consistently today, you really start to see the visual improvements in 6 months' time. If you start to write a book today, it's probably finished in 6 months' time. You start learning the piano today and you consistently practice in 6 months' time, and so, the actions we make today, we start to see the benefit in 6 months' time. But because of that delayed gratification is a big reason why I think most people don't start. So that was interesting fact or quote of the week and a few little monologues. Done.
Interesting quote of that.
There you go.
Hope you've enjoyed the podcast thus far, but maybe you want more profitability, more growth. Well, check out the Business Accelerator program. This is a program that I've designed for entrepreneurs and business owners that are seriously hungry and ambitious. It's not for startups. This is for people already in the trenches. They've already got a team. They already want to have more. They already know the basics. The program includes monthly audits where we'll check your website, emails and customer service to make sure they're always on point. We've got a qualified accountant that coaches you and your management team one-to-one each and every single month. Group coaching calls with me where you bring all your challenges and I do my best to prescribe the medicine so we get through those challenges. There's also a nifty bit of software that manages the accountability in your team. We've designed this in-house to make sure that we stay on point. Accountability is such a big thing for entrepreneurs and management teams in business. Also, you get to come to all my monthly events and workshops. So if you like the idea of Business Accelerator program and you want to find out just how flipping fantastic value for money it is, honestly, I think it's cheaper than you may think, then this investment will help grow your business. There's a link in the podcast description, and I'll see you there to grow your business.
Okay, so Lindsay's Highland Tours. Now, a little pre-chat chat. I mean, I think now I've read some of the notes here. This chap is also including the accommodation. I just thought he was charging people 25 grand to go around in a bus and see the Highland cows of Highland, whatever. But let's welcome him onto the show. Hello and welcome to us, Mr. Stephen. Stephen Lindsay, he's from Scotland. Hello, baby.
Hi, James. Thanks for having us on.
Yep, it's very good. Can you, in your own words, just tell us a little bit about your business? Off you go.
Of course, yeah. So we're a private tour company that specialise in multi-day bespoke trips around the Scottish Highlands. So as you mentioned there, we take care of the accommodation, transportation, and we also book any activities or experiences that the guests do. Our trips generally run between kind of 5 days all the way up to 25 days. So our average trip is about 10 to 14 days travelling around the Scottish Highlands. And we take care of it all for them.
So in a different hotel regularly?
Yeah, we'll try and minimise the amount of times that we move hotels, but often kind of 2 or 3 different hotels. So it could be the Isle of Skye for 2 nights and then Inverness for 3 nights and then, Aberdeen or somewhere else.
Right. Can I just because I want listeners to understand, and crucially, I want to understand, could you give us an avatar customer and deal with money and everything? Because I still don't. Is it Americans? Is it Europeans? Is it Brits?
Yeah, so we only target the American market, so 100% Americans, and our avatar typical customer would be anyone between kind of 65 and 75, looking either near retirement or retired recently, that's looking to come for a vacation in Scotland, and willing to spend a bit more money than perhaps they would usually spend, and they want to have everything taken care of their trip. So we would take care of all of
that 25 grand that you charge with a tour guide, that's the thing. So they have a permanent tour guide looking after them, taking them around. How many people on the average of 25 grand are included?
Yeah, so the average is 4 now. So it works out 6,250 per person. So that's the total cost of the trip.
Including food?
Not food. We don't include flights or meals.
Could you say food again? I love how Scottish people say it.
Food.
Food. 6,250. So that's accommodation and vehicle use, effectively, and a tour guide.
And a tour guide, which is the main
Do they
part.
tip at the end? Does Dad get? Yeah. What's the average tip? I'm always interested.
Yeah, it's probably about £300-400, I'd say on average. But there's some times it could be 3,000, 4,000, depending on the size of the trip. And so, some of these trips as well, the larger trips, is larger groups. It's still a private tour, but it might be 12 people, 14 people.
And do they all know each other, or are they all?
Yeah. So we don't do mixed. We don't mix different people. So it would be part of a group. So an idea would be a family generational trip. So cousins and siblings and kids coming on a trip. And sometimes if it's 12 people and they're all a couple of $100 each or £100 each, then it kind of adds up to a good tip for the drivers. Incentivizes them to go the extra mile as well and give a good.
So and as they're driving around, they're telling people this is this and.
Yeah, some of our guides. So my dad's probably, as much as he gets the best reviews, he's probably not the best guide in the world. So he kind of no experience of guiding or kind of the history of Scotland other than his own knowledge. But he's so passionate about it that the guests absolutely love.
Does he wear a kilt every day and stuff like that?
No, he doesn't. He just wears his normal clothes. But we've got guides that do wear kilts, and we've got guides that dress up.
That's good. You want the guide to look like Braveheart, don't you? Yeah, that's good. Right, okay, right. So let's. Now, you said you worked at Lloyd's Bank before. What was you doing for Lloyd's?
Yeah, so I worked in business banking for a while, and also worked in pensions. So I was an operations manager in Scottish Widows. So
you wasn't lending money when you was in business banking?
When I was in business banking, I managed a team that was lending money. So I managed the business banking support team. So,
and how long ago was that?
I started 14 years ago, and I left 2.5 years ago. So I was at business banking about 3 years ago.
It's really interesting. The challenge is funding the 30% deposit needed to make this happen this year. So, you're a profitable business and you don't want to tie up cash. But when you worked at Lloyd's, you wouldn't have lent people 100%. Is that what you sort of?
Yeah, pretty much. I think the big challenge is just whether I kind of take the plunge and do it just now, or whether I hold off another year and build up some more kind of reserves, and then look at when it's a bit more comfortable. I think if I was to try and make it happen this year for 2027, we could probably do it, but it would cause a lot of sleepless nights. I think it's would leave us short.
Have you got a business manager now, and do you still bank with Lloyd's?
No, I don't. I don't bank with Lloyd's actually. So I bank with Tide. So I don't have a business manager.
So I would speak to a broker and say, look, I would like a GGS loan to buy this hotel. Find something that's already making money, that's profitable. So don't buy something that's loss making, and then you bolt on your existing business. I'm sure. I don't know when you as a business, what sort of level of businesses were you looking after when you worked at Lloyd's?
Yeah, so it was up to I think it was up to 10 million.
Right, so you was doing some fairly, So if you jog along to Lloyd's and say, look, we're making 300 grand and we want to buy this business that's making 300 grand, they use your existing profits and take a debenture over that to help you acquire this new business and then the government guarantee scheme loans that will help towards minimising that deposit. And I would say to Lloyd's, look, I want to buy this. I don't want to tie up my cash flow. So how can you sort it out?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is find a hotel, and you might be able to do a lease option where you lease it with a guaranteed option to purchase it. You increase the value, then you get it valued by a bank, and then you take them out.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you? It
makes sense. I'm aware of that second option there. The first option, makes sense. I did speak to a broker and last week, and they've come back to say that they could get a high street bank that was willing to support with a 70% LTV. And that's where that was the best that they could do.
What you could do, Stephen, is you could get a cash flow loan now on low rates and just shove that in the bank. And then you go 6 months later to Lloyd's and say, look, I'd like that 70% loan to value now. Then you get a smaller cash flow loan for the deposit. I've done that with Barclays before. Lloyd's do 100%. I know if it's childcare, they'll do it. They'll give people 100%. I don't know if you can remember that when you was in there, but they don't. Hospitality's devilishly difficult. So you want to make sure that you class it not as hospitality.
Yeah. Yeah, it's. I've had a look at a couple of guest houses, B&Bs that are already trading. So there's a couple.
Stephen, I would think bigger than that. Don't buy a bloody guest house. You want to buy something much bigger that you can afford a manager to look after it. Who wants to bloody buy a guest house that you've got to look after? Like it needs to have 30 rooms so that you can use 10, and then the other 20 rooms, and so you've got. You can afford people to look after it. A 6-7 bedroom B&B is going to be a bloody nightmare, be a noose around your neck, because you want to have it as big enough that you can afford a really good manager to look after it. Okay,
so you're thinking of more of a hotel rather than a B&B type of...
Yeah, it's just as hard to buy. There's so many deals out there for hotels, and I certainly in Scotland, because I've got one, I get sent stuff all the time. I'm sure you'll be able to lease one with no money down, run it, use it, improve it, and say, look, I want to buy this in 3 years' time. And then you jog along to Lloyd's and you say, look, I've been running this for 3 years. Here's my management accounts. I can buy it for $1 million, but I think it's worth $2 million because of all the improvements I've made. Bish bash bosh, no dosh for you to put in, Stephen. And do you know what that gets? Round of applause.
When you say lease, James, so would you lease one that's
lease option?
Lease option on one that's up for sale?
Not a lease. Yeah, so one that's up for sale, and you say, look, I see what you're doing here. You've got good numbers. This is our business. I want to tell them, say, look, I want to use my money to refurb it, grow it. I want an option. I'll pay you, say it's up for £1 million. We're just making it up. So I will pay you that £1 million in 3 years, but in the interim, I'll do a private mortgage with you. And if I don't pay it out in 3 years, you get to keep all the money. And I'll be fully responsible for it.
Interesting.
Stephen, you know what you need to do? You need to come along to my business masterclass. That'd be a good couple of days for you. You'll come away blown away. When are we doing it, Chance? This
January.
January, baby. Get to business masterclass. You'll learn all this stuff there.
I was there last year, James, so I'll be...
Well, you didn't listen then.
Yeah. No, I was there, there last year, but yeah.
Did you not? I did speak about this there on the property section. Just a bit too much information overload.
Yeah, it's not that's not something that I thought about. I was more kind of looking at guest houses, B&Bs. That's where my mindset was. So
why? Because it's small and it's easy. How about off? No, you're much better than that, Stephen. Read the book, The Art of Thinking Bigger. There's an advantage to thinking bigger. What I don't want entrepreneurs to do is buy themselves a job, which will then be at the detriment to this business. Imagine you buy a 30-bedroom hotel, you got 2 managers, you got a bar in there. It legitimizes your business.
Yeah. Yeah,
do you know what you need to do? Sorry, let me just pause the thought here. Pause the thought. Go and view some stuff. Don't worry about the money. Go and view some stuff, and then you'll see the art of the possible.
Yeah. Yeah, the ones I've been viewing is the guest houses and stuff. I've not viewed any kind of hotels or anything bigger. So yeah, I'll get on to go and have a look at some.
Do you want a little lifestyle business, or do you want to be super successful?
Definitely successful. And I think
thinking bigger is the first step to doing it. You don't want to buy a bloody guest house. Come on, you're a proper entrepreneur. You're a proper business owner. How about no?
Yeah.
Second biggest challenge, switching off. As the business grows, I find it harder to switch off and spend time with my family. I need to manage my time better and be more organised. It's a curse, mate. It's a curse.
Yeah.
I mean, give them give them your love. I do that too, but you can't help who you are, but also, how old are your kids?
It's 3 months old. Just my first one.
You don't remember now. Go out there and earn some money, baby. But as soon as, when you'll want to be around, when they're 3, 4, 5, you'll want to be with them more. Are you getting a bit of a domestic pressure, are you?
It's more the guilt, really, James. It's not the domestic pressure. It's we kind of just went through, and to be fair, when I put that challenge down, it's probably a particularly bad week. But we, obviously since the little one's been here, we've kind of lost a couple of team members. I've had to go from working on the business, which was going really well, to working in the business, which isn't what I enjoy doing, and it's finding that stressful. And that's the time.
You know what the problem is, and you can fix it. You've identified it. It's not like you want to be in it; you want to get out, don't you?
Yeah. And I think
it's that. I'm going to just tell you now, Stephen. I work with lots of entrepreneurs and business owners. They don't really want to get out of the day to day. They like being busy. So at least you've identified it, and if you've identified it, that's the step to get. And it's frustrating you. Good. It means you'll sort it out.
Good.
Third biggest challenge, starting from scratch each month. Yeah, difficult that, isn't it? But what about as time goes on, you go, right, we've got this model. What else can we bolt on? Hey, if you had a regular hotel, that's doing some conferences and some other venue, you got more cash flow coming in, you're folding it in, much better than a bloody guest house with 8 bedrooms.
Yeah.
Just think about that. You don't want to be in that owner-managed booey-boo territory. You want to be in a territory of this is a commercially profitable enterprise that over time works without me in it. That is not a guest house.
Yeah.
If it's, you need some scalability to be able to afford management.
Yeah, I think that's
I know you're probably thinking, how am I going to buy a hotel? Well, it is possible because I've done it and I didn't put any money into buying my hotel. There's, if lots of very wealthy people own hotels and they can't sell them and they can't get people to manage them, and you can come along and say, right, this bloke's a BYT, bright young thing. He's going to put effort, energy, enthusiasm. He's already understanding. He's going to bring customers here. Let's get cracking.
Yeah.
I mean, you could buy one. You can buy a castle in Scotland for a punnet of raspberries, haven't you? I've seen them all.
Yeah.
There is loads of hotels and them giant things. All them Americans, they'll be going, "It's amazing, man. We're going to stay in a castle tonight. Did the Queen live here? How often does she come around?"
Yeah.
Right, third biggest challenge. I think we've covered that. Starting from scratch each month. So I would see if you bought that. You can't make this a repeatable business, can you? You can't, because once they've done it, they've done it. They're going to want to go to Rome next year, aren't they? Or
we just on it. We're looking at kind of launching into Ireland next year. So we got a lot of people that want to come to Scotland and do Scotland and Ireland. So this year we've accepted a few extension packages. So if they want to do it, then let's do it. We'll make it work. So we've got some bookings for Ireland next year, and then we'll officially launch properly next year into Ireland. So be able to reach out. We do have 10% of our customers either come back or refer us to someone else. That last year that was 15. This year it's 10%. So we do have loyal customers. They spend so much time with the guides that they we keep in touch with them. We've got a really good relationship, and they want to come back after a couple of years. So if we can add Ireland onto that, then hopefully we can get a lot of our past guests to come over as well. And
or even a European tour.
Yeah.
Because Ireland's a bit similar to Scotland. I mean, you're probably going to hate me saying that, but it's cold, it's wet.
It's got four times the number of Americans visiting Ireland than Scotland. So,
wow.
So we get we've got a million US visitors in Scotland last year for the first time, and Ireland are just shy of 4 million.
That's a good, interesting fact. Did you hear that, Chuds?
Yeah, really good.
I find that fascinating.
Why do you think that is?
Well, why? Because of the immigration over the years.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's the ancestry. So 25% of Americans think they have Scottish ancestry or Irish ancestry, but they tend to visit Ireland more than Scotland. So
St. Paddy's Day is a big thing in New York, isn't it, and stuff?
There's Irish bars in every state in the US. So I think that's a big thing. But yeah, we get a lot of requests, and I think it's also good for people that have visited Ireland that want to then come to Scotland as well. But and we've got there's other markets as well. So we only target the American market because there's so much the year-on-year growth with the Americans visiting Scotland is just going in the right direction. They spend the most amount of money, even though they make up 25% of the number of visitors. But we're not even touching the surface of the how many trips we can do. So we're doing about 70 trips a year at the moment. So next year we'll be doing 100. We've got so much scope to keep growing into that market before we need to look at Asia, Europe, anywhere else. And
Stephen, do you know, it fascinates me. I'm going to ask you a quick question. Listen to this.
How did you get your first customer?
How'd you get your first customer?
Yeah, so I posted onto a Scottish Facebook page forum that was a Scotland travel page, just saying who's visiting Scotland, and I got hundreds of comments. So I used to do that in all the different forums, and then I would just direct message every single one of them individually, which was very time consuming, but that's how we got our first ever. We didn't have a van or anything at the time, so that was our first ever booking that we got. And they've booked 3 trips with us. They've been back 3 times over the last 7 years, which is good.
So do you now do Google ads and Facebook ads to get people?
Facebook ads, yeah. We do email marketing, Facebook ads. We did Google ads before, but return on ad spend wasn't that great. And
what do you spend on Facebook ads a month on average?
So we're £100 a day at the moment.
Should we play a little game? I had a meeting yesterday with some like wedding marketing companies.
Yeah.
And they said to me the average wedding venue is getting significantly good return on ad spend, because I suppose the average is anywhere between 10 and 50 grand for a wedding. What do you reckon they said was their average spend per wedding venue on Google ads and Facebook ads?
In what period of time?
Per month.
10 grand.
8 grand. I thought that was a lot of money for one wedding venue.
You need one booking a month, don't you, to make it worthwhile?
Well, yeah.
At least.
But they're getting, he said that the average wedding venue can do 50 to 70 weddings with their method of, that's all they do is market wedding venues all around the world. But it was interesting, Stephen, like, if you're getting £6,250 per head, yeah, why only £100 a day? Have you tried to spend more, and has it not worked?
No, it's a good question. So I think one reason, it's not even a reason, to be honest. So we basically get our bookings. So people book up for us like a year in advance. So we've got 2027 bookings coming in now. We've got some 2028 bookings. And we kind of have always kind of focused on filling up the diary, filling up the year in terms of how many bookings that we want to do. And then once we kind of hit that number, then we kind of start focusing on the following year. So I think a lot of it is if we increase the ad spend, we would get that year booked up. And that's because, I didn't want to, take too many drivers on, take too many buses on, grow too quickly, and then start delivering.
You're at capacity now?
We're at capacity for this year, and then we're opened up for next year. But what we've started doing differently, which is good, is we can now get the 2027. We can run ads and book up 2027 as much as we can, and then we know how many guides that we need to hire for the following year.
Have you got a bronze, silver, and gold option so that people can spend more if they want to?
Well, it's all bespoke. It's all private. We don't have an off-the-shelf thing, so it's all we basically have a conversation. If somebody says they want to book a helicopter, then we're going to make that a gold price. It's going to be much more. If we get someone that's saying that they've got they're very budget conscious, then it might not be that we're the best people to do it. So we would recommend, because we don't do any day tours or anything like that. So we don't have like a packaged trip as such. We've got templated ideas and itineraries, suggested itineraries, but it's all bespoke, and we have a conversation and try and understand, what's the best experience that we can give the guests, and what's the kind of most that they'd be willing to spend on that on the call.
I fully understand. Now, it's question time now. This is the part of the show where we ask you some questions, but you can also ask me any question you like about growing your business. And there are some questions here. Do you want me to read them out, or would you like to remember them? Or
I've got the questions here. I think the first question was, when's the right time to bring in a manager into the business?
At your stage, I would bring a PA in that is a / office manager that you just dump loads of admin onto, and they might become good enough to be a manager, because I imagine you're doing a lot of boring administration.
At the moment, yeah.
Because sometimes your manager comes into £1 million company and you don't really know what you want managing yet. You just need good admin support.
Yeah.
And a PA doesn't have illusions or delusions of grandeur.
Yeah. The next question was just skip questions here, because that was I think I know the answer to that one, but the next one was just about an accountant and bringing a finance team in-house or outsourcing.
Well, as soon as you get, I always, if you're hungry and ambitious, let's get this person in-house to help you, even if it's just a really good bookkeeper.
Yeah that's what I'm looking at the moment, bringing in a bookkeeper.
Right, well, it's time to ask you some questions now, baby. So over here is the mystery jar of questions on Question Time. Okay, and here comes question numero 1. What part of the business currently depends too heavily on you, Stephen?
Say sales at the moment.
Sales.
Yeah. So
what are you going to do about it? Is it you get enough leads, but it's converting the leads?
Yeah, conversion rates, with the number of leads that we get, conversion rate is low. Obviously, it's higher when I do it, more passion, kind of experience, but Highland, the right sales team is what we're struggling.
There's loads of travel agents. Employ them to come and work for you.
Yeah,
right,
that's what.
Do you know what? I went into the Virgin store in Chelmsford in Bond Street just to ask about some family holiday stuff. They were fantastic in the Virgin store.
Why did you go in the travel agents? Because me and Hannah have had this conversation before. With the power of the internet, why would you go into somewhere to talk about
Because
holiday?
I wanted a bit more bespoke, and sometimes you can get better deals in the travel
More
agents.
of a customised offer.
Yeah. And
you don't think you could do that online? I'm not saying it's right or wrong, because I would never walk. I always walk past going, who's going in there to look for a
James
holiday?
Sinclair.
Okay.
Because I think when you want to do something a bit more, look, if I was going to Malaga for the weekend, I wouldn't go there. But if I wanted to go on a Disney cruise in Disneyland and do the Everglades and do a tour of America, I want it, if the planes go wrong, I've got, and they're on emails, and it obviously still works, because why, them high end, ones doing it, and it still works for Stephen. The people sometimes, they're going to spend a lot of money, they might want to talk to a human still. It's funny, isn't it?
Just the high street to me doesn't seem like the place to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go into one of them grotty ones, but I wanted to go into Virgin.
Yeah, it's a nice store, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
They all in their uniforms, aren't
Yeah,
they?
in their uniforms,
I see them walking
They do
around.
lattes and coffee machines in there, and there's snacks and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll just go in there for a bag of crisps and pretend I want to have a holiday. But I think you could solve that, Stephen. If you interview 10 people, I think you'll find travel agents that are better than you.
Yeah, we've hired someone from Trailfinders who starts with us next week. We've got someone that already worked with Trailfinders. So yeah, that's fingers crossed that they'll be able to, convert.
Okay. Here comes question number 2. If the business doubled in size tomorrow, what would struggle first? Let me read that to you one more time. If the business doubled in size tomorrow, what would struggle first?
That would be meeting the guests as they arrive into the... so we like to meet the guests in person when they arrive. It makes a big difference rather than outsourcing it to chauffeur companies. So we tried to kind of, between the team, we'll go and meet them at the airport and take them to the hotel in Edinburgh. And that's been a big challenge in the peak summer times we've got.
So it's a recruitment thing?
Yeah.
Okay, right, here we go. I'm going into another one. Okay, here we go. What's this? Oh, it's a big one. How do you want the marketplace and your competitors and your peers to view your business in 10 years' time? Think about brand perception, positioning, and how customers, competitors, banks, and suppliers see the business. What say you?
Be the best private tour company in Scotland for customers, colleagues, and for people working here and for people that want to travel with us, and for the guides for want to be the place that guides want to come and work with us.
Yeah, that's it. So the marketplace wants to work for you. That's a good one. Okay, right, here we go, Chance. We're going in again. This is the last one, do you think?
Yeah.
It's very strict. What are your target KPIs for the business in 10 years' time? For example, average customer value, average transactional value, labour to turnover ratio, profit margins, or customer retention. What's a good KPI or set of KPIs that you want the business to achieve in 10 years' time?
I think I mentioned it in my kind of goals for the 10 years' time, but ideally 1 million kind of EBITDA I think is a strong goal. Hopefully kind of do that in 10 years' time. I think that's the rather than chasing the kind of turnover, looking at focusing on the profit, and that's where I come up with the ideas about folding things in, getting accommodations to try and increase the turnover. Sounds
good. Well, Stephen, it's been great to have you on the pod. We're going to rate you now, and we're going to model analyse your business. Stephen, I really would like to arrange for you to have a consultation call with my Bob, who's a qualified accountant. He's our head of Accelerator and looks after all of our Accelerator members. That's my little gift to you. I'm going to get Chuds to arrange that. I think you'd be a great member for Accelerator. So I think good things will come of this. It's a good business, and I'd like to see if we can help grow you to the next level. So Chuds, can you
on it now
tee that up? But take that call, Stephen. If you want me to help you more intently, then I think Accelerator would be good for you. Right. Goodbye, Stephen. Thanks for being on the big show. There's Stephen. He goes with our love. Goodbye, Stephen. He was a nice guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Good business as well, really.
Yeah, good business. But we're going to model analyse it now.
Slightly different to a lot of things we've had on the pod before, isn't it?
So, the marketing. Can we get a return on investment on the marketing? I think
he's doing that
very well. What do you want to give that out of 10?
8.
8, yeah. I think you're...
You just used the word very well. So.
Yeah. Manager, I think he could have a manager in there.
He said he's employing people from other big
there's enough
agencies.
fat in the business to afford people. He's just not doing it himself, but that's yet, but I think he will.
Another 8?
Yeah, I'll give that another 8. The model and the margin. So the margin is very strong. Yeah, and I think he can keep pushing that up because of the type of customer he's got. I'll give that a 9, I think.
Great. What would make it a 10? If it was just out of this world.
Double the price, yeah. Triple the price. I don't think it's... I think he's premium, not luxury. And premium's a good place to be. He's probably got a slightly broader market than a super duper luxury market. But the model, the overall model, people only really buy from you once. he knows the people that have been 2 or 3 times. That's not every customer. That's the unicorn. It's the exception to the rule. I think once I've had a tour around Scotland, I want to go to a different part of the world. There will be some nutters that go, yeah, I want to go to the same place every single bloody year on repeat, but I don't think that's many people. The other thing I don't like
I don't know if it's Scotland, though. I think if you were going to New York, you might do that on repeat. But
is it really? I've been to New York 3 times. I'm not. Yeah, I like New York, but I'd rather go to Chicago.
Sure, yeah. 3 times is more than once, though, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And London, probably people visit London multiple times in their
I
life.
just feel like New York and London are very unique. Though,
yeah, they are.
terms
Yeah,
of,
yeah. Scotland is not quite that.
A lot of Scottish listeners, we don't mean that to our. But the other problem, I don't. He's got woofties, well off over 50s in terms of the customer base, but they are going to die.
Well, how long has he got there? Another 30
if they're 65,
years?
yeah, but
20 years?
What, do you want to travel from America to Scotland when you're 85? Not everyone wants to do that.
But there will always be woofties forever, won't there?
Yeah, but they're not repeating. You have to find new ones. He, in his own words, he hasn't got a pipeline. He starts from 0 each month. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to give the model 5, which is...
I was going to say 4.
Yeah, maybe even you're...
Because you're huffing and puffing even as you're saying it.
But that's still a good score, 16, 20, 29 out of 40. Right, let's rate this chap, who I am impressed with. Hey, the good thing is, if he starts adding hotels and other services, he can improve that model. Okay, starting with the end in mind, I think he's got that. Passionate about his cause, I think he's got that. Untold amounts of resilience. I don't think he's been tested. They master relationships, people. Yeah, I think he's got that. Commercial awareness, I do think he's got that. They innovate so they don't evaporate. I think
he's moving things to Ireland, isn't he?
Yeah. The master marketeers, I not fully get that. Yeah, I think he could get much better at that. He sort of understands it, but this is getting too good a score for someone that's only been in. So, and that overall is a very good score. Yeah. That's a 6, ladies and gents. He's got a 6. And it's a 6. They're full of entrepreneurial tricks. Hey, we got rid of him too early, didn't we?
Why?
To do the tombola time.
Oh, we did. I kicked him right out of the meeting as well.
It's just me and you playing that then today. It's now time for Tombola time. We're going to play Guess the Company, where me and Chuds will have a mystery ball that's coming out on camera 2 over there. He's going to take the ball out, give me a corresponding number, number 5. And out of here on the black envelope is going to be a company. And me and Chuds have got to guess the company. So producer Stevie, who works with Chuds, sits next to Chuds, wrote all the numbers. Okay. Wrote all the details, shall I say. This is the Fortune 100 firm. It's a leading off-price apparel and home retailer with over 5,000 stores in 9 countries under brands such as Marshalls and Home Goods. A team of buyers work year-round with 21,000 vendors in 75 countries to secure low prices on excess or cancelled merchandise. For the year ending the 3rd of February, the UK business reported $4 billion in revenue, a 3.6% uplift through though pre-tax profit fell 42% to 120 million. I always get fascinated when we do these charts. 4 billion turnover, which is like huge, to make 120 million quid. I mean, 120 million quid is not to be sniffed at, but 4 billion. Can you just quickly work what's 4 billion divided by 365?
How many zeros is 4 billion?
I don't know if your calculator will allow it. It'll be 9 zeros, I think.
Okay, 4 billion divided by
365.
365. Oh, hang on.
What's the answer there?
Nearly 11 million.
It's 11 million. I mean, it's actually 4.3 billion. So they're operating that business for a shake over a week. The other 50 or 51 weeks is just to pay for overheads. I mean,
so do we know who it is? Have you got an idea?
I'm guessing TK Maxx.
Oh.
What are you going with?
I was going to say whoever owns Primark. Is that a group of companies?
I don't think they are in America.
I thought it was
wrong.
UK.
Yeah, there's a Fortune 100 firm with over 5,000 stores in 9 countries.
Okay.
That little bit of fact was just
Who
about the
else?
UK.
Who else owns Primark? It's not just like Selfridges as well, isn't it? Like both ends
They
of
own
the.
Selfridges and they own Tate and Lyle Sugar. That's their big arm.
Fine.
That's a very wealthy family, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I was
Go and have
thinking.
a Google.
Yeah.
No, it's not them. I don't think. I'm going
Home
to.
Sense and TK Maxx.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
What's the answer?
Yeah, TJX.
TJ, which is the.
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that is
Can we just get that confirmed?
TJX.
TJX.
Who else could TJX be?
Well, I think that's the American arm, and then they've got the British version.
Yeah.
Yes.
Home Goods, TJ Maxx in America. Marshalls, Home Sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
All
them.
that sort of stuff.
Well, gang, thanks very much for listening. Don't forget, guys, if you would like to come along to Business Masterclass or any of our events, we'd love to see you there. And you can take this learning to the next level to help grow your business. All details are on my website, jamessinclair.net. Big thanks to Revolut Business for always sponsoring the podcast as well. We love you guys. And I'll see you in the next one to grow your business. Goodbye.
If you've loved listening to this podcast and you think, oh, that's a bit of me, I've got some challenges and I'd like my business exposed to the tens of thousands of people that listen to this podcast, then good news, Captain, you can apply to come on the podcast. There's an application form. Just check out the podcast description and we'll see you there to help grow your business.